welcome to Chai, Chat and Wine. I'm Keena.
And I'm Sonal.
And today we're going to talk about...
Making sense.
Making sense of this nonsensical world that we're living in right now.
Absolutely. The rules are just everywhere, aren't they? I don't know where we are now with everything.
No,
I'm lost.
Well, I think it was also the Matt Hancock can do what he wants with his...
Hand in his...
and, you know, break all the rules and not be 2 meters apart from his aide or whatever he was doing. But the rest of us are expected to toe the line.
Absolutely. And it is grating, isn't it? When
grating.
you see people that have really struggled and really stuck to the rules and have seen loved ones die when they've not been able to be there because they've stuck to the rules and done what they've had to do. Yeah, this guy...
The health secretary.
Do what he wants. Yeah.
Well, the ex-health secretary. I'm so glad he went. I think that's the other thing that was really irritating.
Yeah.
Is how Boris and co just said, well, that's been handled with now. We need to move on.
Hello. What? I know. Honestly.
What's not moving on?
Yeah.
No. And the other thing that's grating is this UEFA officials or VIPs or whatever they are. How many? 2,500 or something of them?
Yeah. How is that happening?
They can swan in and out.
And
why?
what
Because
makes
they
them
have
special?
money. Oh, they have money. Clearly, that's the difference.
I know.
Why
Honestly.
are we even bending over? I mean, I'm not the massive football fan. I do like these sorts of big European stuff
events,
because
they're all nice and fun.
Nice,
and it's a good atmosphere. And,
but not at the expense of everything else coming to a standstill because of these few games.
Yeah.
So,
and why is it that certain people are treated that way? I could understand kind of with the G7 leaders and stuff like that because you know what, they're running countries. And then you need maybe that face-to-face, that makes a big difference than being. But something like these UEFA officials, what are they doing?
What are they doing? And why are they so important? And why do they need to come in and not quarantine and are allowed to do whatever they want? Whereas we can't. You know, the chaos that was caused from Portugal suddenly going amber and the amount of money people had to pay to suddenly get back home because they couldn't quarantine. How is this fair? Who is sitting there making these decisions? And yes, we may have lost we might not understand the bigger picture of certain things. But this does seem quite... It works for some, but you know, the others don't have to follow it.
In fact, when that Dominic Cummings thing happened last year, I thought, okay, it's a one-off.
And what is it with
these
these surnames as well, you know? I mean, Hancock, Cummings, it just reflects their personality. I mean, maybe Boris should think about, what's your surname? Before he employs people.
Johnson, you might be alright with that one.
It's a sign of how you're going to behave. But sorry, what were you saying about Dominic?
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, when he did it, you think, okay, fine, you know, that was awful, very wrong, shouldn't have happened. But you think they would have learnt from that?
Yeah, no.
Yet these idiots are doing the same thing again.
Yeah. So when he did the Bernard Castle drive, because he should have gone to Specsavers instead or whatever, but decided to drive to test his eyesight. You know, that, okay, he did that. So at that same time, Matt Hancock was sitting on his secret, wasn't he? So he knew he'd been out of order. And I feel for his wife. It's not fair.
How awful. Poor thing. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And this is the thing, the morality of it is even a separate story. This is just the hypocrisy. You know, you expect everybody else to follow your rules, what you're saying. Do you remember he was saying about holidays too? Don't go on holidays. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying why are you staying in the UK? Now we know.
Shagging your age,
exactly.
So why do you want to go abroad?
Exactly.
Yeah, because then you'd have to go with your wife. Clearly you didn't want to do that.
Forget the fact you were trying to say it for the good of you weren't really saying you were doing it out of selfish reasons, basically.
So it makes you sick. So the whole football thing is irritating. And then I did, obviously, Wimbledon started this week. And I did turn on, obviously, to watch it. And I thought, they said 50% capacity. It looked full to me.
I'll be honest with you, I've not seen it yet.
What?
No,
you haven't? Yeah. How is this even possible?
Busy night last night. But
okay, fair enough. But so I'm thinking, all 50% sat next to each other in this one section. And they're not family.
One family.
And they're not allowed in the rest of the grounds. So the grounds are all empty, but everybody sat right next to each other on centre court. I mean, I'm losing it. I'm not understanding it.
Yeah.
Okay, and the whole amber list, green list, red list. And amber is not green and it's not red, but it's also not amber if, you know, we're then not having to quarantine if you're double vaccinated. But and what do they want to do? Do they want us all to go mad?
I am lost. I do not know now what is covered, what is not covered, what I can do, what I can't do, what is right, what is wrong, 6 in, 6 out, God knows what's happening.
And you mustn't go to amber list countries because it's not recommended, but hey, the flights are still running and actually nobody's stopping you and you're not... What do we do? Absolutely. Make it clear, please.
And insurance, you can't get insurance because it's still amber. Yeah. So, the Foreign Office is still not saying that you can't go, or don't, advising against it. So you can't get insurance if, it's putting people in... In fact, the thing is, I would have thought the last time the rules were going to change, I thought he would have addressed this problem with Amber, because there was a huge outcry. And he didn't.
No.
So it's still...
Because he's a wuss. I mean, we try not to be political on this, but the fact that he didn't actually say to Matt Hancock, I'm sorry, it's our order, mate, you need to go, and said, no, we've talked about this. I thought, right, okay, I've lost all respect for you, Boris. You did a wonderful job with vaccinating the UK, and all of that's going fantastically well, but please stop this nonsense.
Yeah.
Clarity.
Yeah. And you know what, it is all new and it's never happened before, fine, but then listen to the feedback you're getting. Yeah. You've had enough feedback on this Amber being totally useless, this Amber situation. Do something about it.
Yeah. Just backtrack. I mean, don't even backtrack. Just say, okay, right, we thought this traffic light was going to work. It's actually making less sense. It's giving less clarity to people. Let's make it more sensible.
Exactly.
And let's put a sensible way forward for everybody so that the air travel people can go back. I mean, stories about pilots who have not had work and now having to retrain and have taken to train up as a pilot. They've paid so much money. So they're in debt, and now of course they've got no work. So what are they going to do? What is everybody going to do?
Absolutely, all sorts of jobs and things.
And then that takes us to our kids, because another thing we've got to make sense. What was it we were reading?
170 in June. 172 school kids.
172,000.
Sorry, 172.
172 would be all right with. Yeah, in England.
1,000. Yes,
just in England.
Yes. Yeah, we're off school. Isolating.
Ridiculous. Because yes, ridiculous, no ridiculous. We don't want people to get sick. Yes, we want to protect the public. Yes, we want to protect the NHS, but if these kids keep missing school, their exams are going to become it's going to become a joke. It already is half a joke. Yeah. But their anxieties are getting worse about it. The kids are stressed. What are their job prospects? What's going to happen with universities and getting into universities? It's not an equal playing field. What are we going to do? Make sense of this, you know? And so so they're talking about it, aren't they? They're saying that when we go back in September, if a kid tests positive, should the whole class or should people sitting around him or her have to isolate? I don't know, should they?
Well, you think though, I'm hoping by that time they're vaccinated.
Well, this would be nice.
Yeah. In which case then probably that is the case. Then maybe they can just say, okay, fine, that one people stay away. Yeah, and keep coming.
Well, if you can have so many Scottish fans coming over from Scotland to watch the England-Scotland match, and nobody was social distancing, whether they were in parks or wherever they were. So, you can now you can get married and have a wedding reception, but nobody can dance. Did you hear this?
I think so. You need to be seated, tables.
So
again, more rules. I'm thinking. Well,
let's make sense of this. So they can all dance around with lots of beer in their bellies and after the match because they're excited about the
hugging
and you should be
all this.
But I finally have a wedding. Not that I'm having a wedding. If you were postponing your weddings and trying to get married, but you can't dance.
No.
What's the point of a wedding if you can't dance?
Exactly. You've got to be seated at tables.
What is the point?
I know.
So,
honestly.
Who is making these stupid rules and what's the thinking behind them? Because
what they should do in a wedding is put a football screen up.
Yeah.
That would cover it, wouldn't it?
That's what you want to do.
Everyone can have their beers and sing and dance. And
there you go. We're just watching a match. We're not getting married. We're just watching a match.
And have the ceremony on the side.
Yeah, nobody needs to know. We'll just slip that one in quickly.
Yeah. So it's crazy. It's sad that we have to think
ways of circumventing the rules.
Yeah, which again is not the right thing. No. You want to do the right thing.
Most people do.
But this is frustrating.
Most of the people want to follow the rules, do the right thing, keep each other safe, and look out for people who are working in the healthcare sectors and all the related sectors. But we need our economy back. Yeah. We need travel back. Yeah. We need, we went out in London and the bars and clubs and restaurants are busy.
Full. Yep, absolutely. Yep.
After a few drinks, people are forgetting a bit about social distancing and what you should and shouldn't do. And yes, and this is what they're saying about Japan, aren't they, for the Olympics?
Yes.
That they don't mind the people coming into the stadium, but then they want everybody just to go home and not go to the bars and restaurants, because that's when it sort of goes a bit...
Yeah. A lot of athletes have pulled out, haven't they, at the Olympics?
Oh, they haven't got that recently? Really?
Yeah. What, because I think Serena Williams pulled out, I think, as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this because there's going to be no spectators?
I think so. I really don't know what the reasons are, but they're pulling out of...
Yeah. So... yes, it's nice to have the football. Yes, it's nice to have Wimbledon. Yes, it's nice to have all things sporty, but not at the expense of us not being able to go on our trips, not at the expense of kids not being at school. Yeah. You know what? I want to go to the theatre, and I don't want to sit there with a mask on the whole time. I will, obviously, because that's what's required, and I understand that they're not modern buildings, and therefore certain steps can't be taken as they can in other places to make them safe. So, but again, they're not all opening because they can't function at half capacity. It's too expensive.
Yeah.
Right?
But I don't know why they put an event system in now.
I suppose what they're saying is a very old theatres. It would be very difficult to... So you can go to the cinema now. Because they're modern buildings and they can...
They've already got the air conditioning or whatever.
But old theatres in London. But so again, what's going to happen to all these people? They haven't worked in 1.5 years.
This is the problem. Yeah. It's just people are really struggling and suffering.
Yeah.
But I can understand, obviously health comes first.
Yes, of course it does.
So we're told, but it just, things are just not marrying up correctly.
No, not marrying up.
And that's the worry, the concern, I think.
Yes. So you know what, if powers could listen to this and see, we might be two women here rambling on about this, but actually it's reflective of a lot of people. We want our kids to stay at school. We want them to get a good education. We want to get back to life as best as we can. And we want it to be the same rule for everybody. Yeah. Not it's okay for whoever wants to do whatever they want to do, but the rest of us have to follow it. It's not fair.
And of course, mental health is equally as important as physical health.
Of course. So, and these things help mental health, don't they? Right. So let's make more sense out of our crazy, nonsensical world. And please, people who are ruling and making these rules for us, have a think about them. Make it sensible for all of us.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. So until the next week, hopefully there's going to be better news and better things. But until then, take care. Be sensible.
Look after yourselves. Do the right thing.
Do the right thing as best as you can. But hey, don't be too hard on yourselves. But take care, stay well, stay safe. Until the next week. Bye.
Bye.